What's up, everyone? Welcome back to After the Storm. Canes win 3-2 against the Vancouver Canucks in game number 6 of the season. And I'll admit, I did not stay up and watch this game because, the game started at 10:30. I wasn't interested in staying up till 1 o'clock and being tired all day for that one. Nevertheless, this was I caught a condensed version of this game, and this one was kind of more or less. I think we've seen this game probably 3 or 4 times already this season from Carolina. Kind of a dominant game. They were out shooting Vancouver by 20 shots at one point of the third period. A low level of work for Freddie Anderson in this one. And the players that are asked to produce consistently are the ones who are producing. The goals from Carolina, Svechnikov on the power play opens it up. Aho at the beginning of the third period off of a very nice Seth Jarvis play. We're going to talk about some Canucks players and talk about the Canucks in this video as well. And then obviously 37 seconds after that goal, Jesper Fast has a debatably kicked puck into the net. I thought that's a hard one to overturn. I think that even that ref at the moment when that goal goes in and he points to that net, like, I'm not even sure he knew. Like, it seemed like he was just like, yeah, goal. We're going to call that one a goal. But in that one, and even in the challenged goaltender interference call on Stastny earlier in the game, they're so tough to overturn. I didn't really necessarily think that Stastny was much in the way of an interference call, but at the same time, it's called a non-goal on the ice. And if you're a ref and you're watching that, you have to see clear evidence that wasn't goaltender interference, and it wasn't so cut and dry on that one. Nevertheless, a couple weird plays. Let's highlight maybe a player that we should be a little bit concerned about, maybe grow a little concerned for right now. I'm sure he'll turn it around, but early on in the season, I think he's looked solid in a couple games and really weird in some others is Freddie Anderson. And this was another one of those weird games. The first goal, JT Miller, the cross-ice pass, where Freddie just seems like he is not anticipating it or not. He doesn't even really move on this one. It's a really weird play. I'm not sure if it's just a fake out. Some really good stick work by whoever passed. I don't know who passed the puck over to JT Miller, but I thought this one was really weird. Freddie just didn't seem really himself in this game. And even on the second goal, JT's second goal, the puck, flips up, hits off Kotkaniemi's face. Everybody kind of takes their eye off the puck for a little bit, and JT just walks in and slaps one past. It's one you want Freddie to have back for sure. But again, it's also really hard to do your job when you only see like 14 good shots in a game. It's really tough, and that's the aspect of Carolina that against a struggling team, they made it so easy on Freddie. So in kind of a wrap-up before we start talking about some other stuff as it pertains to this game, I think this is another dominant effort by Carolina, and I think this is more or less what we're going to start seeing from this Canes team. We're gonna expect these games to be like 6-1, and we're going to probably have very few of them. It's kind of the hallmark of this Canes team in recent years is that the games where they should win by a crazy amount, they just don't. I mean, this is a 3-2 win that could be much, much further on the scoreboard. It's not, and there's a reason for that, and that reason's name is Thatcher Demko. But all in all, an extremely strong game from pretty much every member of the Carolina Hurricanes. All right, so we've already talked about Freddie Anderson. Let's talk about his counterpart at the other end, Thatcher Demko. Wow, this guy is good. Vancouver fans, I don't know if there's a single Vancouver fan watching this video or will or whatever. Man, if you have one thing to be extremely excited about, it's the fact that Thatcher Demko is your goalie. There's a lot of other aspects that should be working for the Vancouver Canucks, and this is kind of an exemplary fact of how difficult rebuilds are, because Vancouver seemingly had everything in place. They had 2 elite prospect forwards come through in Pettersson and Besser. They then had Quinn Hughes, who emerged as one of the best offensive defensemen in hockey. And you've got a goaltender that was drafted years ago who has really come into his own. And Vancouver is one of those teams that extremely gets benefited by, some really good goaltending coaching. And that kind of staff system and what they do just works in Vancouver for goaltenders. And somehow all this has come together with some key veterans, some really good players put around them, and nothing's working. And that's why this league is such a crapshoot sometimes. You just really can't even rely that doing a rebuild, and there's teams that are currently doing rebuilds, that look amazing, look like they're going to be unbelievable, and there's a chance that a lot of these teams miss and they don't end up as good as we anticipate them being. So that's the sad aspect for Vancouver, because another team that, when they're good, the NHL is better. Vancouver Canucks are definitely one of those teams. I would also throw Buffalo and Montreal into that category of when those teams are good in the standings, when they are elite teams. This league is much, much better. But it's not fun times in Vancouver right now. They've lost again. There just does not seem to be any hope on the horizon right now. It looks like Horvat's probably going to walk. You're probably looking at potential Besser. JT Miller just signed a contract, and he might be out. You have an albatross of a contract in Oliver Ekman-Larsson back there. Tyler Myers is not a good defenseman. There's not a lot to look forward to, but there are a few bright spots. And as I mentioned already, the league is better when Vancouver is good in this league, so hopefully they can find a way to turn this around. But that's where I'll leave it in summation. This is a very good game, again, from Carolina. They kept all the shots on Freddie minimal. A couple goals go in on Freddie that I'm sure he'd like to have back. But all in all, a very strong performance from Carolina in this one. A 3-2 win to close out this road trip. Thank goodness this one's done, this Western Conference swing. It sucked trying to stay up for these games. I literally gave up at the end of this one because, holy crap, you can't stay up till 1 a.m. watching hockey sometimes and try to go to work. Glad it's over. Happy to get back to just regularly scheduled 7 o'clock games, which also means night of CGRs are coming back, which is awesome. So anyways, guys, that's where I will leave this one. Game 6 in the books. Carolina, I believe, has 4 wins coming through the first 6 games. They lost to Edmonton and Calgary, San Jose, Seattle, Columbus, Vancouver. Yeah, 4 wins. 4 wins. Good. I mean, you're going to take 4 to 6 wins every single time at any point of the season. So some good stuff early on from the Canes. They got to keep that momentum going. The players who are being asked to carry that workload are really starting to. Andrei Svechnikov has been unbelievable. But that is where I will leave this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment down below. Talk about how this game went. I want to hear from you guys as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one.